to my channel. If you're new, bienvenidos. My name is Joanna. Today I'm going to be going over how to make Nixtamal. Now Nixtamal essentially is corn that's been treated through the process of Nixtamalization. If you learn how to make this, you can make all kinds of Latin dishes. So I'm going to be walking you guys through this process, but I do warn you, there is going to be a lot of science. I'm going to try to keep it as fun as possible and hopefully not bore you guys to sleep. But like always, I'm going to leave all of the ingredients, measurements, as well as substitutions down in the description box. But before I continue rambling off, let's get started. Nixtamal is corn that has been treated with an alkaline solution. Calcium hydroxide, also known as cal or pickling lime, has a pH of about 11 and is a common alkaline used for nixtamalization. You can find packets like this in most Hispanic markets. However, if you can't find this, another option would be to transform a simple ingredient that you most likely already have at home in your pantry. Baking soda, otherwise known as its chemical name sodium bicarbonate, is a very mild alkaline with a pH of only about 8. But with a little science, we can transform this into something a bit stronger. To a baking sheet lined with aluminum foil, evenly spread out the baking soda and pop this into a 250-degree Fahrenheit oven and bake for 1 hour. As it bakes, two things are happening. Gases are being released as well as a solid is being produced. During this thermal decomposition, H2O is released as a water vapor along with carbon dioxide or CO2, leaving us now with sodium carbonate, also known as washing soda, as our remaining solid compound. Enough of that, let's get back to the recipe. Once baked, it'll seem like nothing really has changed aside from appearing a bit more grainy and perhaps more dense. But like they say, it's not about looks, honey, it's about pH. The pH of sodium carbonate is now about 11, which is perfect for making nixtamal. To prepare an alkaline solution, add the alkaline to a pot of hot water. I'll be using the sodium carbonate we made. Then mix it to dissolve. You'll notice the water will go from cloudy to translucent once fully dissolved, and now is when we keep it over medium-high heat. When making nixtamal, traditionally an heirloom variety of white Dent corn is used, known as cacahuacintle in Mexico, or also maíz blanco. In Northern America, you can find this variety in most Hispanic markets. The kernels tend to be pretty wide and have a dent at the crown. If there isn't one in your area, most places that sell livestock feed, regardless of where you live, are very likely to carry field corn, and that works just as good too. Place the corn in the alkaline solution, being careful not to come in contact with it so it doesn't irritate your skin. I recommend wearing gloves just as a precaution. You'll notice the corn kernels will immediately begin to turn a vibrant yellow color, and this is because of the chemical reaction they're having with the alkaline solution. As the corn is partially cooked, the alkaline solution will go from being translucent to opaque, and that is exactly what we want. Continue simmering over medium-high heat for 20 minutes while stirring occasionally. After simmering on medium-high heat, turn off the stove and cover the pot. We need to let this soak overnight and just let the science of Nixtamalization take its course by chemically changing the corn to Nixtamal. The corn's pericap will loosen, making the B vitamins such as niacin in the corn become available, while also shifting the balance of proteins, making it much more nutritious. The morning after, drain the Nixtamal from the alkaline solution it's been soaking in. Then we'll need to wash the Nixtamal while rubbing the kernels together, as I'm doing here. I recommend using clean kitchen gloves for this, as it protects your skin from the remaining alkaline solution during the washing process and creates more friction so the corn's pericaps are easier removed. We want to remove as much of the alkaline solution as possible, so drain the water basin and refill with clean water and continue this process until the water runs clear like shown here. After removing the pericaps, you'll notice the kernels are slightly lighter in color, and our nixtamal is ready to be used to make hominy and different kinds of masa. Here are the steps to make hominy using some of the nixtamal that we made. I'm going to take some of the nixtamal but leave the rest to make Tamales Masa later. Before making hominy, we need to remove the black tip caps from each individual kernel. Thanks to the process of nixtamalization, it's very easy to pinch off like shown here. This does take time to do though, but this step is crucial as it's going to help the kernels expand as they cook. Place the nixtamal that we removed the tips from into a pot over medium flame with hot water. Cover the pot and let it simmer and set a timer for 1 hour and 30 minutes. Drain well, and we now have some freshly cooked hominy that can be used in Mexican pozole or to make some tasty grits. On a recent trip to Mexico, my husband and me had the chance to watch masa be made from freshly made nixtamal. Traditionally, a molino, which is a food mill like this one, is used to coarsely grind the nixtamal before water is added, and then it's finished by grinding it onto a metate like the lady is doing here. The end result is a very soft and finely ground paste like masa, which is ideal. However, many of us don't have a metate at home, so I found that a food processor can work pretty well. Place some nixtamal into a food processor, cover and process for a few minutes until it's been ground somewhat fine like I'm showing here. This gives similar results to grinding it in a molino, so it's still a little coarse, but you can still easily mold it with your fingers. Transfer it over to a bowl, and if by chance you have a small food processor like I do, you'll need to work in batches. At this point, we have what's called fresh masa harina, and you can use this to make all kinds of different things like corn tortillas, gorditas, arepas, pupusas, just to name a few. But right now, I'll be showing you how to make a very basic masa for tamales. To a mixing bowl, add some lard and aerate it by whisking it until it becomes fluffy. This usually takes about 2 minutes or so. Then going back to the fresh masa harina, we need to add some salt and some baking soda before mixing all of our dry ingredients together. Make a well in the center and add the whisk lard from earlier along with a bit of the water we'll be using. Begin kneading everything together, and once you feel it's a bit dry, add a bit more of the water. It's best to incorporate the water slowly at different intervals. Continue kneading until the dough comes together and is light and fluffy, similar to the texture of thick hummus. The best way to test if you've kneaded your tamale masa enough is to take a small amount of the dough and drop it into some water. If it floats, then it's perfect. This is a very simple and basic recipe for tamale masa, and you can adjust the flavor however you like. I have another video on how my family likes to further prepare this basic tamale masa. Now all you have to do is fill them with whatever you like. This ancient and fascinating process of Nixtamalization is still practiced by many people throughout the Americas, clearly standing up to the test of time, and there's just something really special about that. Regardless of where you live, I hope this video was helpful for those of you wanting to learn how to make nixtamal at home, and remember to always have fun experimenting in the kitchen. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up, comment, share, and subscribe to join our wonderful Fusion family. And for video notifications, don't forget to click the little bell icon that looks something kind of like this, and I'll see you guys next time. Mwah! Suerte!